Welcome to AI Rounds, your weekly dose of AI in medicine and education.
We are your hosts, Dr. Nuria Negrão
and Dr. Morgan Leaf. Each week, we'll bring you a quick dive into the latest in artificial intelligence and how it's transforming healthcare, medical education, and medical communications.
From the tools changing how we teach, learn, and write, to breakthroughs shaping patient care. If it's new, exciting, or just plain useful, we're talking about it.
In just 10 to 15 minutes, we'll get you up to speed and maybe even spark your next big idea.
Let's make the rounds.
Hi, Morgan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Nuria?
I am so good. So, it's like a week until the Alliance or until Atlanta at least, and getting excited to see everyone.
I am excited as well. I can't wait to see you in person.
Yes. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. What did I want to say? Oh, today I'm really excited about this episode that we're doing right now, because this is like the proof that's like everyone has been talking about, that you can, people that are not technical can now do technical things, is like what we're going to show you. So basically, we're both going to show how we used these generative AI like ChatGPT and Claude to code and run code and have code run in our machines, and code that works, that does things for us, which is super awesome. So Morgan, do you want to start off with your thing?
Yes. And as I'm sharing my screen here for the folks who are watching, and I'll narrate for those who are listening, I just want to reassure you that Nuria and I are not technical people. We don't have computer programming degrees. We don't have any background in coding. And I think a lot of people may think, well, I'm a medical writer. Why would I need to code anything? But especially if you're a freelancer and you're running your own business, you probably have a lot of tedious tasks that you do that you might be able to streamline with some assistance from AI. So that was what I came up against. I'm going to show you a program that I made in ChatGPT by going back and forth with it about the code. I made it last summer, so that's like 100 years ago in AI terms, as far as the advancing of technologies. So I bet if I made it now, I could do it faster and easier. But I made it last summer, and my problem that I wanted to solve was, in my medical writing business, I have subcontractors who work for me, and I need to make SOWs for them for every project that they do. It's a little time consuming. I end up putting it on the back burner and getting behind on it because it was very tedious. And so I said, well, can I make a quick program that helps me with this? So that's what I'm going to show you right now. So I made a program called SOW Creator. And the first step here is to click on this that says Start SOW Generator command. And you can see, if you're watching on the screen, it brings up some code. And then what that does is it brings up what looks like a web page, but this is just local. It's hosted on my computer. And from here, it has all of the fields that need to be filled in on my SOW that I used to do manually, but with drop-down menus. So I could put the due date of the project. I can select a subcontractor from the list. I have a drop-down list of deliverables. So I'm just going to pick a deliverable here. I write in the topic that the subcontractor is going to be writing or creating content about, the name of the client, and then the fee for the project. And I want you to know, those who are watching this on the screen, some of these are drop-down menus, the ones with the little carrots next to them. When you see me click on things like the topic and the fee, it's just bringing up things that have been typed in there before. Those are not drop-down menus. So these are free response. So if it was a new topic that we had never written about before, I would need to fill that in there, or a different fee from a past project. So just clicking those simple fill in the blanks and putting in the information that I need. And then I click the generate button, and it generated it. And then I'm going to go back to my SOW creator. And the next command is to open it in Acrobat, because what it just made me is a Word document, but I want it in a PDF to send in Acrobat for signature. So the next thing I'm going to do here is click on Open Last SOW in Acrobat command. So then it's going to open up Acrobat. And you can see down here, if you're looking at my screen, it's uploading the file. This takes a minute. So it's converting what it made in a. Okay, so you can see here that now it opens the document. It converted it from a Word document into a PDF, and it's filled in the fill in the blank information in all the right spots. So it has the template, all of the information that stays the same in every statement of work. And it just filled in the information that changes from SOW to SOW that I inserted in the program. And now I'm ready to send it for signature. So this just works as it always does in Adobe. I can request signatures and
Mm-hmm.
send it right off. There's nothing different about this step than what I was doing before. But the thing that really helps me is that it makes the SOW faster, and it especially takes away sort of the brain drain for
Yeah.
me of inserting this information in manually to
Yeah.
each SOW. So as you know, Nuria, this was about the proudest thing I've ever done in my life. I was so excited to tell you about this when I did it last summer. And when you mentioned you in your talk at the AI Summit, you mentioned something about coding, and we didn't get a chance to go into that in the Q&A session. And I was like, you know what? I bet a lot of people in the audience are like, why would a medical writer ever need to code?
Uh-huh.
So here's my example of why I needed to code and what it's helped me with. And I just went back and forth with ChatGPT.
Mm-hmm.
It took me 2 days to do this, a couple of hours each day. And I just kept telling it what I wanted, and it would give me code. And it would not work. Many, many times it didn't work. And I would tell it, this isn't working, this isn't working, this isn't working. And
Mm-hmm.
it would fix the little glitches, and we would get further and further and further. So if you have patience to go back and forth with it,
Yeah.
you'll get there. But you really don't, in my opinion, need any expertise.
Yeah.
So Naria, I want to see what you made, because this is recent, what you made.
Yes. So I was really inspired by you, but it took me a little bit longer to start doing things. One thing that I want to say, so like yes, it might take a little bit of time to figure it out in the beginning, but if then it will save you time or save you mental space, because the truth is like while this is running, like downloading the document and all of that, you're not thinking about anything, right? And you can go do something else on the side. And so I think that helps a lot. Anyways, so I'll share my screen.
Yeah, we've talked about this before. Even if something doesn't save you time, if it
Mm-hmm.
saves you mental energy, that is really valuable to you, especially in our line of work.
Yeah. All right. So I want to show you what I did. So usually I do this in Claude, but Claude today is not working. So I moved to ChatGPT, and I now have started doing this. This is how I start my research now. Is I say write a prompt for Claude Code to find X number of papers. Usually I'm looking for like 50 to 100 on PubMed about whatever the disease is and what I'm looking for, and I specify the date ranges. And then I say that I want the output to be a list with hyperlinks to the PubMed pages, because Cloud Code cannot download the papers for me. So I find this easier. Another thing that this does is that I can, after it's done its research, I can immediately quality control. Like me going and looking at the abstract and then downloading the paper is like quality control step. So I really like doing that. And I say where I wanted to put the output and all of them. So Claude will do this, ChatGPT will do this, and Gemini will do this. Then I just copy the code. And for the sake of time, I had Claude Code. So then you run it on your on your computer, and I had Claude Code do this thing for me. And I just want to see if I can find how many. So I think it found like 223 results. It
Okay.
read the 223 abstracts, and it picked the top 20 and then picked the top 5 most relevant. And
Okay.
it did all of this in 2 minutes and 33 seconds. All right.
Impressive.
So, yes. So, like, even if it's 50 papers, I'll be honest, it's going to take longer. But I think that is really impressive. All right.
And in your experience of doing this, when it says it's picking the most relevant, is that accurate, or is it
You need to
missing
go and
stuff?
fact check it. So
Okay.
so basically what I would say is like you get these papers and now you can go and read them and go and have an idea, but I would still go. But once you've started reading about something, it is much faster to see whether something is relevant than if you go the other way around. If you start by manually searching PubMed, manually reading abstracts and all of that, it's because you're still learning about what is happening, right? So I find that these things speed up, like having it automated in the beginning speeds up my quality control steps at the end, at the back end.
And can I ask a quick question just for the
Uh-huh.
benefit of our listeners?
Yeah.
What's the upside of writing this as code and saving them to your computer instead of just writing a command to ChatGPT or Claude and saying, "Find me the 5 papers and give me the links here in our chat"?
I haven't been able to get them to find me the best 5 papers. Like this thing that Code did and looked at 200, like I haven't been able to get it to do that on the chat. You can get something similar to that with deep research,
Mhm.
but even like these results are better. I don't know why it is better when it does it via Cloud Code versus via the chat. But I even asked, like I went back and forth with Claude and with ChatGPT about like what is the best way to do this, and both said that running it as code on your computer will give you better results, and
Cool.
both were right. So I don't know the technical explanation for why not. So you will see like computers like to give you files in what they call Markdown. So you'll see the files are called .md. And Markdown is computer language for like how they organize things on things and on documents. Like the title is one way. So because Markdown doesn't read very well on Word, what I do is I have all of these Markdown papers and I open them in a program called Obsidian, which is free, and that just makes it easier. And then you see, it gave me 5 papers here. They're all from 26, 25, and it has the hyperlink. So then I just click on the hyperlink and it goes straight to the paper. And then hopefully I'll be able to download at least some of these papers. Let's see. I don't think I'll have access to this one, but we can see. And then, so all I'm doing is clicking on the links on the thing it produced for me. And then, okay, so I got one paper downloaded already. And if you're not seeing like, basically the way it downloads it is with those names that are like PIIS. And usually I used to take time to go and now rename all of the papers, right? And what I do now is I don't rename all of the papers. I have Claude rename the papers for me. All right. So we have here 3 papers that are all letters and that I don't want to work with. So what I do is I put them all in the folder where I'm going to finish. So what I do now, I just go here, I right click on the folder, I go to show more options, and I have a thing here. This is what I created with Cloud Code, rename papers. And then it's going to open another terminal window, and it's called the Academic PDF Batch Renamer.
Love it. Great name.
Yeah, and it's only 3 files. It's going to rename them one by one
So
according.
you coded this program and it already knows what folder these
Yeah,
files are in, right?
in any folder, because I
Mm.
touch the folder that I want. So then it tells me like for this paper, I'm going to rename it like this, for this one like this. And then it asks me yes or no. I'm going to say yes. And it renames the
So you're
file.
renaming them by author name, year, and then the name of the paper, right?
The name of the paper or the topic. I
That's
tell it to
great.
choose which one is the best one. All right. So then we can come into this folder just to show you, and you can see that it has renamed them.
Love it.
Okay, and this one say like Huang 2025 trastuzumab. Let's open it to see. It is Huang. It is about trastuzumab, and it is from 2025. So like I've only had it not get it right once. Like I've fact checked this a million times to make sure. So then, and it creates this rename log that you can go and check. The other thing that I had it do, the other script that I had it do is show more options, and I want extract paper info. So then it is an academic PDF metadata extractor For 3 papers, this will not make a lot of sense. But remember, I told you that I usually ask it to do 100 papers. So I'll show you an example. So basically what I want is it to create an Excel spreadsheet, which tells me the name of the file, first author, date, title of the paper, and then I want topic, and then I want main points. So, and the reason why I do this with code and even the renaming with code is because when I try to do it just here on Cloud Code, as I was doing before, I was running out of context window. But here, every instance, it's opening a new Cloud thing. So it only is reading one paper at a time. So it doesn't run out of context window. So then it creates this Excel spreadsheet, which if you only have 3 papers, you don't need it. But if you have 100, it is really cool because you can then go from the topic, you can read the key points, and based on that, you can decide which papers. This is the beginning of my literature review, basically.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And
Pretty accurate with this?
yes, it is extremely accurate with this.
It's amazing because I've tried to do that. I mean, it's been at least a year since I've tried. I've tried to have ChatGPT
Mm-hmm.
make a table like this within the chat, and it didn't do a very good job.
Yeah, but
So,
this is better because it's reading paper by paper, like so if
yeah,
you ask it to do it for one paper, it'll be really accurate. If you
yeah.
ask it to do it for more than one, it gets a little bit like it's too much, right? It doesn't
Mhm.
get as accurate. But because I'm running it as code where each instance is going to the web and like it's using every time, it's accurate every time. And
That's
then it gives you a table that is really, really, really good. It didn't open the other one, but doesn't matter. I think I've showed my point. So
yes.
this has really, like, I am so excited that I got this to do because this really is automating like the beginning of my writing workflow. And yeah, and again, like these things can run and I'm doing something else, and then when it's done, I can go. And now I can look at it and ask my questions about it. And like, yeah, it is.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. This is very eye-opening. I
Uh-huh.
think that not just medical writers, any kind of writer who is looking through scientific research, journal articles, whatever it is, would find this really useful.
Yeah.
And I am so excited to try this myself. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing this, Nuria.
You're welcome. Thank you for sharing your thing. I think we can all find like these repeatable things that we do all the time and then
Mhm.
just go and ask ChatGPT,
Yeah.
how can
That's the
I
point,
automate this?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people don't think to use generative AI. They just keep doing the menial task over and over again. So ask yourself, make it a goal this week.
Oh,
All these little tasks you do for work throughout the day, is there a way I might be able to use generative AI to make it easier?
yes. That is the
Awesome.
message. All right. Thank you, Morgan.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.